All right. Are we live again? Sorry, I got cut off. I didn't have my phone in Do Not Disturb, and AT&T keeps calling me. Oh, go into that in a second. But if you're just joining, if you're watching this later, please go watch the first part. It should be uploaded by now. I got to change the title of it because I didn't get to talk about Bill Maher. We'll do that this one. In the first part of this live stream, podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it, entertainment show. The first part, right before this one on the feed, is about Jon Stewart's segment on AI. And just to finish what I was saying, by the way, if you're new, please hit subscribe. I go live every weekday. It means the world to me. It's free for you. And hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. And for those who have subscribed, thank you so much. It's been a trying time lately, and seeing the new people joining in solidarity, joining the family, it's hard to put into words how much it means to me. And what I was saying on the end of the last live stream, Jon Stewart is the GOAT. And I just talked about him, so go watch the previous live stream. But what I was saying, Ample Thought, welcome to the chat, go subscribe to Ample Thought, was Jon Stewart said, you know, Apple got sensitive over him wanting to have the FTC chair on to discuss AI. The FTC chair, Federal Trade Commission chair, has been critical of Apple, Meta, the big tech companies. And if there's nefarious uses that Apple, Meta are going to use AI for, which they are, just follow the money. See what their actual that word is stumbling my lips. Implementation. Oh, Rob, have another one, buddy. But if you watch what they're actually using it for, because they're on the up and up, they're all saying, oh, it's going to cure diseases and solve climate change and fix humanity. But what are they really using it for? Horrible things. They're trying to get rid of their employees, as they called them, the people tax. They're trying to get rid of their employees and do it with AI, which is going to be a soulless, flat. Maybe that's what Jerry Seinfeld did. I know I've been going hard after his Unfrosted movie. Maybe he had AI write it in the voice of Jerry Seinfeld. That's why it's such a soulless comedy. Easy for you to say, or not. Or not. Not. Remember that in the 90s? That's an easy one for me to say. Not. We should bring that back. We got to bring not back. Oh, if you're a Gen Z, you don't even know what not is. Not. God, I remember. Oh, okay, I don't want to get too distracted. So what I was saying about Jon Stewart, wondering why Apple got sensitive. Well, because they're a big tech company, nefarious uses, but more importantly, anyone, and I would just say this in general, if people aren't willing to broach a topic, if they're not willing to even start a dialogue, have a conversation, that's suspect, or as the kids call it, that's sus. I don't even know if the kids know sus means suspect, or does it mean something else. I've always figured it means suspect. Nice close. Not. Not. I'm gonna start doing. I gotta do that to my kids when they get home from school today. Looks like I don't know what I'm gonna say. Anyways, so, not. But if people aren't willing to have a conversation, that's why I do this live stream. Okay, because I think, irregardless of where you sit on the fence, hopefully not on top of the fence, pick a side. You don't want to have the old lady maker happen to you. Skateboarding term. I think it's important to just have dialogue. You know, I learn things, you learn things. We maybe come together, join in solidarity to figure out the future we want as a people. Isn't that the whole point of this country? Kind of. Not. It worked. It worked. The whole point of this country was us to come together and plan it how we want it to be. Not. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. So yeah, keep that in mind. If people aren't willing to have a conversation about something, like Apple wouldn't even let Jon Stewart have a conversation about AI, they're suspect. And I would dig more into that. Follow the money, as Cancel This Clothing Company says. Cancel This Conspiracy on YouTube. Check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. Very good. Best journalists out here. All right, so I'm going to get to the Amazon story. And by the way, I'll link all the stories in the description of this. The VIP line, thank you. Yo, so this is why the first live stream got cut off, okay? I'm going to make this so you understand the foundation. A long story short, my wife wanted to switch to AT&T. If you use AT&T, please leave it in the comments if they're good or not. I've been with Verizon for 16 years. I want to stay with Verizon. My wife thought we could save some money, and in troubling times, it's always good to save money, so I just went with it. It was just like, all right. You know, 16 years, and I let my wife pull the trigger because, you know, I want to help out any way I can. AT&T delivers our phone. The FedEx guy steals them off our porch. Delivers them, takes a picture, steals them, leaves a bag of trash. Over $3,000 worth of phones. So we call AT&T. We figured this is a simple fix, right? They want a new customer. They want our service. And essentially through all my phone calls, dealing with them for hours on hold, hours. I'm talking about hours on hold. They told us, like, go F yourself in not that many words, or in more words. They said, go F yourself. They said, you're going to have to call back tomorrow, wait on hold for another half hour or an hour my wife is on hold for, blacklist the phones, wait 5 days for a refund, and then you can go find the guy you ordered them from and reorder them and go through this whole process again. I usually am nice to people on customer service lines. I told them to F themselves and hung up. My wife still dealt with them. But you've been with AT&T for 14 years. They're good. That's good to hear. And I respect your opinion on things, Ample Thought. So that is very good to hear, because my wife's still pushing me. But the whole funny part about this is when we signed up, this guy, the sales guy, who, God bless him, good kid, young kid, paid on sale, commission, sales dude. He kept saying in AT&T and all their writing, it says, call the VIP line. And he kept saying, and the sales guy kept saying, you have access to the VIP line. And he made it like, I think he tricked my wife. He kind of tricked me. And the way they write the VIP line and they kind of isolate it, and the way he was talking about the VIP line, this is what they kept talking about. You, because of the plan you're on, you can call the VIP line, and they'll treat you like a first class customer. And that was the whole pitch, right? That anything goes wrong, call the VIP line. They'll take care of it. Like you're on cloud 9, no issues whatsoever. That VIP line is just customer service. It's almost the worst customer service you could ever imagine. I'd rather deal with AI, and I am for the working class, okay? But these mother effers that were picking up the VIP line, yeah, it's a VIP line. Not. I wish, if he said that to me, I would have been like, that's funny, and now I know what I'm dealing with. But I felt lied to. No, I didn't feel lied to. They lied to me. AT&T, you're lying, because there's no regular customer service line. If you look it up, that VIP line is the customer service line. But I'm not joking you. Verbatim, he said, because of the plan you're on, you call this number, it's the VIP line. It's said in big blue. That's what they call AT&T. In big blue, it said customer VIP line for the very important people. BS. It was the most horrible experience. And I'm not even a customer of theirs. You figure they would want my money, want my patronage. And these people are making me jump. That's what I said to him. I said, you're making me jump through this many hoops to become your customer? I said, I'm all set. I've been with Verizon 16 years. You think I'm going here for fun? Get out of here. Win me over. Someone stole my phones. I had to file a police report. I never call the cops. Cops usually show up. I get put in handcuffs. Okay? If I'm going to court, I'm usually looking like a defendant. I had to file a police report because I was so livid. And on top of that, this AT&T clown VIP line was like, no, we're not resending phones. Even the sales guy was like, oh, the VIP line. He told me, he goes, the VIP line will just resend the phones. And I was like, bro, stop calling it the VIP line. It's customer service, and they told me they don't do that. So where are you getting your intel from? You're a liar. And that's my biggest issue, is like, don't lie to me. Just tell me on the up and up. I know what I'm dealing with, and then I know what to expect. But if you trick me into believing there's some kind of VIP line, and I don't know, Ample Thought, if you've been with AT&T, let me know if they have a special VIP line for people with certain phone plans. Doesn't seem like it. And the way they treated me, especially the way the sales guy kept telling me, no, I've escalated this issue, talked to my manager. If you just call the VIP line back, they'll just resend you the phones. And that's what I figured. I figured this wouldn't be a big problem for a multi-billion-dollar company. My phones are stolen. I got a police report. I can't activate the phones like you would know if I didn't get the phone, or if I did get the phones, because we'd activate them. You figure it would just be easy, and they would want us to feel safe as a customer coming in as a new customer. You figure AT&T would just be like, you know what, we're sending you new phones. Don't even sweat it. In fact, I even asked them, like, I asked my sales guy, I said, can you not send the phones and send them to a store? Like, can you send them to an AT&T location and I'll just go pick them up? I don't want them stolen again. And he was like, nah, we don't do that. And I was like, wow, you're really making it hard for me to want to pay your company for service. Remember that. I always say, like, over the past few decades, it went from the customer's always right to, like, we care for the employees, to the only thing that matters is the shareholders and Wall Street's expectations. That's it. That's all that matters to businesses now. And it's so frustrating because it's like, we were ready and willing. You understand, 16 years with one company, and you guys got my wife to convince me to go to your company. And then we have the worst thing happen we could imaginable, right? 3 cell phones, thousands of dollars stolen from us. And what you tell us is there's nothing we could do. We'll try, call us back. We'll get you a refund for the taxes you paid on it in like a week. And then you can just order them again. And I'm like, do you not want me as a customer? You think I'm going to go through this process again and risk losing these phones? Like, you not working with me whatsoever. AT&T, shame on you. But this is how most companies, that's the saddest part. When I was talking to my wife, she was like, this is how America is now. They don't give an F, and they're basically like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What, are you going to complain on the internet? Not. That didn't work there, but that's why it's so important when I do this live stream, when I try to bring these issues to people. And again, if you have AT&T and like, I want to know for a fact if there's a true VIP line, because they didn't give it to me. They wrote VIP on top of it. On the printed sheet, it says VIP, but when I call it, they treat me like an ASS. And I'm not even their customer. That was the thing. That's why I had no problem. For real, I got banned on Amazon. They don't let me leave comments or reviews on anything anymore. And I was like taking pride. I had a lot of good reviews. Thousands of people like my reviews because I wanted people to understand the products. And, I have kids, so it was important for me to like share product information. And also I heard you could get paid to review things. So I was really working on that. But then at one point, when Amazon started to unionize, I would call them just for fun and tell their employees, like, you deserve better, you should be better paid, do you know how to unionize? And they record those calls. And then right after I made my 3rd or 4th or 5th one, I got banned from making any comments on Amazon. Whoops. But I don't know how I got into that story. Oh, because my point is, I usually support these customer service people. Like, it's never their issue. They're not calling these shots. They always have to go to someone higher. In fact, they're just like kind of the frontline workers of these big companies. And I would imagine they get a lot of heat for that. So I always try to tell them, like, I understand it's not your fault. You got to answer to somebody else. I blame Jeff Bezos. I blame whoever AT&T's head is. And let's look up his salary right now, which is what I like to do with these people. So I always try to, understand that they're not paid well. This isn't their dream job. They didn't, as a little kid, people weren't in school asking them, what do you want to grow up to be? And they were like, I want to answer phones for AT&T. Like, that's not how it happened, man. And some people are doing things to get by, and I respect that. But this was the one exception. I almost never lose my cool with these people. And this AT&T VIP line, I literally told them, F you, and hung up. I just couldn't believe that they would have me on hold for 30 minutes. And this was the 3rd call I made. And then they just kept telling me, like, nothing we could do. We ain't helping you. And they kept telling me to, like, go find the guy, get your refund. They didn't even say get your refund. They were like, go find him. And I was like, no, we need that couple $100 back. So yeah, that's just my experience please leave it in the comments if you have a better experience with AT&T and their VIP line. But that's also like the poisonous thing about the branding and marketing, which I was trying to tell my wife. Like, of course this guy is promising you the world. Like when she called me, she's like, listen to this deal. And I was like, of course this guy is promising you the world, okay? That's his job. Of course he's telling you you got very important access. You got this elite access to AT&T's head honcho, and he's going to fix all the problems for you. I was like, that's what he's paid to tell you. I said, let me go down and talk to him. I get down there, I go, who do you use your cell service with? And I looked at his phone, and the screen lit up, and I said, it says VZW, or whatever Verizon says. I said, you got Verizon. So you don't even have AT&T. Did you try to sell me AT&T? He's like, oh, my grandparents play. I was like, give me a break. The first thing you should do is just keep your phone away and tell people you have AT&T. If you're going to lie about the VIP line, just commit to the lie and lie about everything. Don't matter if it's one lie or a million lies, you're a liar. And that was like my first inkling of like, this is some shady-ish. That the AT&T salesman was trying to promise us the world on the service and how good it is, and they don't throttle data. And my simple question was, who do you use for a provider? And he's like, oh, I'm on Verizon. I was like, oh, really? Sounds like you know a lot about AT&T. Not. So, you know, and I told my wife that. I was like, yo, the guy selling us AT&T is not a customer of AT&T. So he literally couldn't tell me what the true experience of the VIP line was. He didn't even know. Maybe I'll give him that. Maybe he wasn't lying to me. Maybe they told him it was in the script and he just got fooled. Which, don't get suckered. These companies don't have to promise you any or be honest with you. This is why I do this live stream. Because I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you my experience. Even when I worked in radio, you know, when I was young, I would do any commercial for money. And then it got to a certain point where I was like, I can't lie to the audience. I want to define my career in a respectable way. I want to lend validity. That's another word right now. Validity. What did I say? Validity to myself and to the product. If you just start pitching every product like some of these celebrities, like The Rock, you know, what is he selling? Ashton Kutcher's Acorns debit card? Piss off, Rock. You got enough money. We don't believe you anymore. Now you start to smell funny whenever you're out there hucking another scam. I always say, how much money do you need? Seriously, like be choosy with your advertisements, what you lend your name to. And that doesn't go for just money wise, like only give your word on things that you believe in. And this dude, I don't know, maybe the sales guy was duped, maybe because he doesn't even use AT&T. He couldn't tell me, but it just felt disingenuous, the whole thing. That they were telling me like, oh, you call this VIP line, something happens to your phones, they just ship them right out to you. I told him, I was like, bro, you're lying to me. I have multiple texts of this guy telling me they'll reship the phones. And I was like, have you not called the VIP line? That we're not going to call it anymore. We're going to call it customer service line. I was like, because I've called it many times and they told me that's not a thing they do. Which is scummy, man. I hate that companies are like this. They just say whatever they want just to get your money, and then they don't care. There's no reliability. It's just like, listen, I'm old enough to remember when people would go to a company, stay there, and retire there, and they didn't job hop because the company treated them right. And with the loyalty, same with being a customer. It says on my Verizon account, thank you for being a customer for 16 years, loyalty and da-da-da. Do you think I get a loyalty discount? Do you think they offer me, this is why my wife wanted to go there. Do you think they gave me a better offer than AT&T when I wanted a new phone? No. They don't respect my loyalty. It's a little footnote for them. And these are the issues that if we join together and we say, we're done with that. There needs to be some kind of respectability in business. It's just so treacherous now. It's just get the money and run. You see it in the crypto field all the time. You see it, it's frustrating. But I'm here to tell you, we can change that. We got to come together. Solidarity. Thank you if you've subscribed. And if you haven't, Costs nothing. Just hit that little button. Mean the world to me. Thank you. All right, real quick, because I gotta go in a minute. Bill Maher. If you haven't seen the news, again, I'll put all the links in the description. They're in the first live stream. If you missed it, you can watch the first one, and all the links are there. Bill Maher, notorious toker. He looks like a toker. I've never liked Bill Maher. I don't like Bill Maher. I know there's people, my friends, like Bill Maher. I think he's a pompous, sitting on a glass, throwing a glass. When he talks down to the working class, you can see the spittle going out. I just think, even his movie about religion, I watched it and I was like, this dude's literally going to like the poorest, most poverty-stricken places with the worst education and dunking on them. And I was like, Bill, this isn't like a bragging moment. Like, you're dunking on people who obviously, like, you know, don't get it, man. Like, you know, like you're punching down real hard. Like, you're punching down like through all the weight classes down to like people that aren't even in a weight class. Like, that's how hard you're punching down, Bill. And I really disrespect that. I don't like that. I think, you know, if he considers himself this thought-provoking intellectual comic, then he should have no problem like going toe-to-toe with some real intellectuals. So anyway, Steve-O talked about how, you know, Steve-O's been sober forever, and I got a story about meeting Steve-O right at the pinnacle of like his downfall, where he was, you know, just about to get sober. I met him at the well, we went to the Rainbow Room. We were at the Viper. No, we were at the Rainbow Room, and then we went to the Viper after, or one or the other. And I went up to Hollywood with my buddy. We were going to see the Cottonmouth Kings, and then I bumped into Steve-O. Me and Steve-O just started hanging out, drinking, getting all messed up, and then me and him like took off from the concert and walking down the street. We went and bought some 40s, and we walked back to the Rainbow Room where my other friend was working. And I'll never forget, I wish my brother saved the message. We called my youngest brother because my youngest brother loves Steve-O, and Steve-O left him this long voicemail. It was amazing. So it was a cool night. And then I seen Steve-O later on radio, and I was like, do you remember that? I don't even think you remember that night, but I think he recognized me. We partied pretty hard together. We played the FU game. When we were leaving the bar, he was like, let's play the FU game. He goes, whoever can walk up to the biggest person and tell him FU without getting hit wins. And I was like, this is crazy. I'm in. When else do you get to hang out with Steve-O? So anyways, Steve-O, very famous for getting sober. God bless him. Super supportive. I'm sober as well. And he values that. And if you're into sobriety and you know anything about that, that is your life. You know, every day you're waking up, making a choice to be sober. It is a struggle for a lot of people, and it's always work. Steve-O recognizes that, gets that. He takes it very seriously. And I guess he invited Bill Maher onto his podcast, and Bill would not, he was like, you know, you just can't light up in the RV or wherever they do the show. Said, you know, you just can't smoke. Out of respect for me and my sobriety, I do not want that around me. And Bill Maher said no. It's like, yo, Bill, the podcast can't be longer than like an hour at the most. If it's like a Joe Rogan podcast, 4 hours. Like, Bill, what kind of D are you? You can't just be like, yeah, come on. This is what I mean. Like, this is so telling about somebody's character, that he couldn't even just respect Steve-O's sobriety enough to say, like, yeah, I won't smoke in front of you, bro. Or not even in front of him. Steve-O didn't care, like, if he knew Bill was smoking. He just didn't want the smoke being blown in his face. And Steve-O talks about how he went on Mike Tyson's hot boxing, and these prolific smokers were like, yeah, bro, we'll respect that. And Bill Maher is what? Just too big, too good to respect Steve-O? That's what I mean. There's something real smug and off about Bill Maher. He's not a liberal. He's not a progressive. He's an elitist, you know. That's why I say the wealthy are very organized, and they are very slick in their propaganda, and that's what Bill Maher is. You know, he's slick in his propaganda against working people. He calls working people lazy and all this stuff, but just don't listen to anything Bill Maher says. He's a scumbag, and these are the telling signs, you know. Stuff like this is just very telling, because it's a simple ask. And Steve-O made it very clear it's respect. It's out of respect for his sobriety, and somebody who can't do that, like, they're taking up our oxygen. Let's put it like that. Finally, Kevin Hawthorne, what is up? Good afternoon. Good to see you, friend. Hey, if you haven't hit subscribe, please do. Kevin is a subscriber. You mean the world to me, brother. You and all the other people who've joined the family, for real, it's been a very tumultuous time for my family, and having the subscribers, having people drop into the chat, the lives, hard to put into words how much it means to me. So thank you. Salute. And just so you know, I started this live stream a little while ago. AT&T called me, which I just went into a big rant on that, so you can watch this back. But there's a first part where I talk about Jon Stewart's commentary on AI, which is the first part of the live stream. So there will be 2 live streams today. My apologies. AT&T's VIP line called me. Yeah, it's a VIP line. Not. If you don't know what that's a reference from, the 90s, I think Mike Myers might have started it, Wayne's World. People used to say stuff like, those jeans look awesome. Not. I'm your best friend. Not. They weren't that weak. It's been a long time. It's been 30 years since we made those jokes. And I'm trying to bring it back. So everybody bring back not. So Bill Maher, suspect. He's not suspect. We all know who he is. You lack character, Maher. You're of low moral character. You like to punch down. Don't like you. Not a fan. Never was, never will be. All right. The other thing I want to bring up, Amazon. They waste so much. They have so much waste, right? And now they're starting to talk about, and this relates to my AT&T story. This is why this stuck out to me, because Amazon says, like, hey, moving forward, we might like get rid of our Amazon boxes, you know, the ones that like smirk at you, smugly tell you every time you see one of these, Jeff Bezos gets to go to space. Well, they say now they're considering shipping only stuff that comes in its original boxes. So if you're buying Clorox wipes, they come in a Clorox wipe box, so they don't have to repackage it into a box and ship it, which great for the environment. But I thought, like, what if you're getting an iPhone? What if you're getting a computer and they just ship it in a computer box? So many people are going to get robbed if it's just the box. You know what I mean? Like, we got to figure out a different way. Tape it. Can we tape the box? Can we put on like a blur? Can we blur the image of the box? Why can't AI solve this issue? Well, it probably could. It's just the people who own AI don't want it to. They want it to make them more profits so they can meet Wall Street's expectations. So I don't know. Keep an eye out for that, because I don't know how you feel about that. Listen, I just had stuff stolen off my porch. So for me to consider, like, and this has happened multiple times, is why, anyways, but it's hard for me to think, like, stuff not being in discreet packaging, or just not letting people know what it is, isn't going to get every box stolen, every valuable box stolen. And I don't know what there's another way. So let me know in the comments what you think. Should Amazon be doing that and just shipping it in an iPhone, just shipping the iPhone box with your name on it? Like, that seems crazy to me. Just shipping a computer with your name on it, with the shipping label on it, like, that seems nuts, you know? Especially in times where, like, people aren't paid and people are going hungry. It seems crazy. The anonymity of a box, you know, this is where, like, this is a tough one, because you want to save the planet, do you just not want to get robbed? Where do you sit? Hopefully not on the fence. You don't want to have it. We don't want to name that fence the Lady Maker. All right. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. Ample Thought, Kevin Hawthorne. Salute to you guys. And join me tomorrow, every weekday. Hit subscribe. Thank you so much. Hit the notification bell too, so you get alerted when you get notified when I go live. And for those who have subscribed, I don't know how to thank. I will give you a virtual hug, because it means the world to me. Thank you so much. Peace.